All right, so we're diving into budgeting today.
Budgeting.
Yeah.
Especially when, things feel a little bit
Rocky.
yeah.
Uncertain. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, you've brought some really good stuff from DigyKeys.
Yeah.
You've got articles, FAQs, the whole 9 yards.
Through work.
I love it. So it's easy to feel kind of overwhelmed
Oh, yeah.
when the economy's like this. But I think what I'm seeing from all this material is that a good budget
Yes.
can be like your anchor.
Exactly. It really is. It can almost be like your superpower
I like that.
to fight that financial stress.
Totally. A secret weapon that nobody knows about.
Exactly.
Okay, so what were some of the things that really stood out to you from what you saw?
Well, I think one of the first things is just understanding your cash flow, especially when things are uncertain, right? It's like checking your financial pulse.
Vitals. Yeah.
Exactly. Knowing where your money comes from, where it goes.
Yeah, and that 73% statistic.
Of middle-income Americans.
Cutting back on non-essentials.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
big. Are you seeing that too?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think that just highlights,
Yeah.
the importance of having a plan for the unexpected, like an emergency budget.
Yeah, like when things get really tough.
Exactly.
Not just your everyday budget.
Day to day, yeah.
Like your financial fire escape plan.
Exactly. And they talk about using the 50-30-20
Yeah, that's a classic.
classic rule, but adjusting it for emergencies.
Yeah, I like that.
So maybe bumping up that needs category a little bit more
Makes sense.
and, focusing on paying down debt.
Yeah, they had some good tangible examples too.
Oh, yeah.
Like swapping out the gym membership for at-home workouts or
Right, or finding a cheaper phone plan.
right, little things like that.
Little things.
That you can kind of adjust.
Totally add up.
Yeah, so another thing that I thought was really interesting was this whole idea of an emergency fund.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know if you saw this statistic, but 37% of Americans.
Yeah, can't handle a $400 emergency.
I know.
That's crazy.
It's scary, right?
It is. It really emphasizes why you need that cushion,
Especially now.
especially when things are uncertain.
Yeah.
And they had some really smart tips, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Like automating your savings, even small amounts.
It all adds up.
It does. And they mentioned this tiered savings approach.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really interesting, especially for folks with irregular incomes.
Right.
Adjusting how much you save based on how much you're earning at that time.
Yeah, you got to be flexible.
Right.
Now, another thing that really stood out was tackling debt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did you see that stat about credit card debt in 2023?
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're back at Great Recession levels.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge red flag, right?
It is.
Like trying to stay afloat with a hole in your boat.
Right. Yeah, so they talked about the snowball and the avalanche methods.
Yeah, those are good.
Like, which one are you? Are you a snowball or an avalanche?
I love the snowball, It's like,
So visual, right?
it's so visual. You start small, you gain momentum,
Yeah.
and
To get that big debt knocked out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think for people who are more numbers oriented, the avalanche method works well too, because you're
You're tackling those high interest ones first.
Right.
So you're actually saving money in the long run.
exactly.
So, okay, and then we've got investing,
Ooh.
which, like, when things get really
Okay.
complicated, yeah.
Especially now?
Especially now when, the market's all over the place.
Right.
So how did DigyKeys approach that?
Well, they really stressed that there are still smart approaches, even when things are down.
Yeah.
Like, think about defensive investments.
Yeah, late mention.
Dividend-paying stocks, bonds.
Yeah.
Those are really good options when the market's volatile.
They're like your anchor in a storm.
Okay.
And then they talked about dollar cost averaging, which can sound really complicated, but it's really just,
Putting in a little bit at a time.
yeah, like $100 a week, no matter what the market's doing.
So you're not trying to time it perfectly,
No,
which, I mean, who can do that?
exactly. Nobody can
And so
take the emotion out of it.
I like that.
Just let it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is where I think a lot of people get overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah.
Budgeting tools, like,
So many.
which one do I use? There's apps, there's websites, it's
It's tough to choose, right?
a lot.
Yeah.
So, like, how did DigyKeys break that down?
Well, they really did a good job of giving you a couple different options to think about.
Yeah.
Like, YNA for people who like to,
Super detailed.
every dollar has a job.
Yes, I know some people like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then Mint, which is more automated.
Exactly. Tracks your expenses, sets goals for you.
You can't forget spreadsheets, though.
The class.
Old school, right?
Yeah, the OG.
Exactly.
And, I thought it was a good idea that they mentioned combining the digital and physical.
Yeah, like use your app to track overall.
Right.
And then those cash envelopes.
Yes, I love cash
For things like,
groceries, eating out.
Yeah, those areas where you
I
might...
could overspend.
Yeah, overspend, yeah.
Totally.
So, I don't know, what's really kind of sticking out to you so far?
I think what I really like about all this is it just gives you a sense of control.
Yeah.
When things are so uncertain,
Right.
it's easy to feel helpless.
Powerless. Yeah.
But if you have a solid budget,
Right.
it just brings that control back.
Yeah, and it's tailored for you.
Exactly. It's your plan.
It's your life.
It's your life.
Yeah.
And it can change.
Right. It's not set in stone.
Exactly.
You can adjust as you need to.
So, it makes me wonder, are there other areas in our finances where we might feel kind of out of control but can actually, take back that control? I think that's something we should definitely explore as we keep going through this deep dive.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about some really good strategies so far, but there's always more to learn.
Always.
So what else did you find in that DigyKeys material?
Well, one thing they touch on that I think is really valuable is the power of negotiation.
Oh, the art of asking.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And I think we often forget about that.
We do.
I remember they suggest trying to negotiate things like...
Credit card rates.
Exactly. Credit card interest rates, insurance premiums.
It never hurts to ask.
Right. The worst they can say is no.
Exactly.
And you might be surprised at how often you can get a better deal.
Yeah. Especially if you've been a customer for a long time.
Yeah. Or if you've done your research and you can present a good case.
Exactly. Now, here's a question. When you get a windfall, like a tax refund or something,
Right.
should you just throw it all at debt, or is there room for a little fun?
Oh, that's a good question. It's tempting, right, to want to splurge.
Yeah.
But imagine using that money to really supercharge your progress.
Towards your goals.
Yeah, towards your goals, whether it's paying down debt faster, boosting your emergency fund, or even making a lump sum investment.
It's like giving yourself a bonus.
Right, exactly.
Right, I like that.
It's like delayed gratification, but bigger.
Right. And it's thinking long term.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so how do you stay focused when the economy feels like it's all over the place?
That's a really good question.
It's easy to get discouraged.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It is. It's like you're aiming at a moving target.
Totally.
And DigyKeys actually stresses the importance of being flexible.
Oh, yeah.
And adjusting your goals as needed.
So it's not giving up. It's
Yeah.
just being realistic.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So maybe that dream vacation gets postponed a little bit, or that down payment goal gets adjusted based on interest rates.
It's like staying committed to the big picture.
Right. Exactly.
But maybe the little details change along the way.
Yeah. And celebrating those small wins along the way, no matter how small.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
It's like reframing it.
Yeah.
Finding those little victories.
Exactly.
What about side hustles and additional income streams? I feel like so many people are thinking about that now.
Yeah, they are.
Especially, when jobs don't feel as secure.
Right. Exactly. DigyKeys, they highlight this as a key strategy for weathering these economic storms because you're diversifying your income.
Like having multiple streams coming in.
Exactly. You've got multiple streams,
Mhm.
and whether it's freelancing, starting an online business, even something like driving for a ride-sharing service.
Yeah, there's so many options now.
They really are.
And it's like being resourceful,
Yeah.
using your skills.
App-
Okay. This is something that I think we often forget about, but they mentioned it in the DigyKeys material. Mental well-being.
Oh, yeah.
Financial stress is real.
Oh, it's so real, especially now when things are so uncertain.
I think it's normal to feel overwhelmed,
Totally.
anxious, and we shouldn't ignore that.
Yeah, you've got to have healthy coping mechanisms.
Exactly, and self-care.
Self-care is so important.
It's not selfish.
It is not selfish. It's essential, especially during tough times.
Yeah, so you can make those clear, rational financial decisions.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, here's something I've always struggled with, talking about money with family.
Ooh.
It can be so
Touchy.
touchy, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially now when everybody's kind of feeling the pressure.
Right.
So did they have any tips on how to navigate those conversations?
They didn't specifically address that.
Okay.
But I think open communication is key.
So just being honest.
Yeah. being honest about your situation.
Setting those expectations.
Yeah. And making a plan together.
Working as a team.
Exactly.
It's easy to kind of pull apart.
Right.
When things get tough.
Yeah. But it's much better to come together.
Yeah, and it's okay to disagree.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
As long as you're listening.
And compromising.
Yeah.
Finding solutions.
Yeah, finding solutions that work for everybody.
Sometimes you need a neutral third party.
Yeah, sometimes that can be helpful.
Okay, so let's talk about taking control of our spending.
Yes.
It's easy to feel like we're just at the mercy of everything else that's going on around us.
Oh, yeah.
But we do have choices.
We do.
We do. Right.
Absolutely. It's about focusing on what we can control.
Love that.
Even when things feel chaotic.
So it's about shifting our energy away from the things we can't control.
Exactly.
Right.
And towards what we can.
Like our own choices.
Yes.
Our own habits.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's where those budgeting tools
Yeah, all those tools
come in.
Right.
You track your spending.
Yeah. You identify areas to cut back.
Right.
You know, it's like being mindful.
Be mindful about your choices.
And, you know, I think it's about shifting from that scarcity mindset
Oh, yeah.
to abundance.
Right.
Even if your resources are limited.
It's a perspective shift.
It really is.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be deprivation.
No.
Right.
It's about making conscious choices.
Yeah, that align with your values
Yeah.
and what you want.
Yeah.
Now, this is something that they didn't really cover in the DigyKeys material, but I think it's so important, especially now.
Yeah.
Scams, fraud, like
especially when people are feeling vulnerable.
yeah, it's like they can sense
weakness. Yeah,
Right.
totally.
So how do we protect ourselves?
Well, I think it's about being aware of common scams,
Right.
being cautious about who you share your information with,
Right.
and trusting your gut.
Like if it sounds too good to be true,
Probably is.
it probably is.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a guaranteed get-rich-quick scheme.
Especially now.
Especially now, when people are looking for a quick fix.
Okay, so how do we approach investing when things are so volatile? It's like, do you just bury your money in the backyard?
I know it's tempting, right? But DigyKeys suggests a more strategic approach.
Oh,
They actually remind us that downturns can be opportunities.
oh, interesting.
Yeah, because when the market's down, prices are low.
It's like a sale.
Exactly.
For your future.
Yeah, like, you know, buy low, sell high.
But you have to do your research.
You do. You have to do your research.
You can't just buy anything.
Right. You got to believe in what you're buying.
Right.
And diversification.
That's key. Right.
So important. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Spread that risk around.
Right. Yeah.
So stocks, bonds, real estate.
Maybe some alternative investments.
Yeah, like what?
Like precious metals.
Oh,
Crypto, if you're comfortable with the risk.
okay. So it's about finding that balance.
Yeah.
For you.
It is.
Okay, so what if you're just starting out? Like, what's a good first step?
Well, I think one of the most important things is to understand your goals.
Okay.
And your risk tolerance.
Yeah. What are you investing for?
Exactly. How much risk are you comfortable taking? And once you have those answers, you can start exploring different options.
And don't be afraid to ask for help.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
There are resources available.
Like DigyKeys Digital Budget Planner.
Yes, and there are tons of other apps, websites, financial experts who can help guide you.
Okay, so even when times are uncertain,
Yeah.
we can't ignore those long-term goals.
Right.
Like retirement.
Oh, so important.
Right.
Right, and DigyKeys really emphasizes that.
Okay.
You know, keep those goals in sight.
It's like planting those seeds for the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, even if the harvest feels far off.
Yeah. Yeah. And time is on your side.
It is.
Especially when it comes to investing.
Especially with compound interest.
Oh, yeah. The magic of compound interest.
Earning interest.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's powerful.
But with our busy lives, how do we make sure that we're actually saving and investing consistently?
Well, that's where automation comes in.
Oh, set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it. I think that's one of the most powerful tools.
Really?
Yeah, you know? Imagine setting up automatic transfers to your savings account.
Yeah.
Or scheduling your bill payments in advance.
It's like having a personal assistant
It is.
for your money.
Yeah.
So even when you're busy,
Yeah.
it's taken care of.
Exactly. Your goals are still being worked on.
Okay, so we've talked about being proactive. We've talked about taking control.
Yeah.
But what about when things don't go as planned?
Oh, that's a great question.
Like, how do we deal with those financial setbacks?
Yeah, especially when the economy's volatile.
Because it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Right.
Unexpected expenses, job loss.
Arcade tips, yeah.
Yeah, so it's easy to feel like giving up.
Right.
Right.
It is.
So how do we stay resilient?
Well, I think it's about approaching those setbacks with a mindset of learning.
Oh, okay.
So instead of seeing them as failures,
Yeah.
see them as opportunities to grow and adapt.
Okay, so it's like a reframing.
It is a reframe.
Yeah.
These setbacks, they're normal. They're part of the journey.
They don't define you.
They don't define you. They don't define your financial future.
Right.
It's about learning from those experiences, adjusting your strategies, and just keep moving forward.
Okay. One step at a time.
One step at a time.
Now, how do you deal with the stress of all this uncertainty?
That's a good question.
Right. Like, how do you stay grounded?
I think one of the best things you can do is focus on what you can control.
Again, shifting that energy.
Yeah, shifting your energy away from what you can't control.
Right.
Like the economy.
And towards what you can be, and toward your own choices, your own habits.
So empowering, right?
Yes.
To think that you actually have.
You have more power than you think.
Yeah, and it's not just about taking action. It's also about celebrating.
Oh, yeah.
Those little wins.
Celebrate those wins.
Right.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day.
Right.
And forget to acknowledge our progress.
It's like running a marathon and not stopping to enjoy the view.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whether it's paying off a debt, reaching a savings goal, just sticking to your budget for a month, take a moment and celebrate that.
Yeah, boosts your morale.
It does.
And it keeps you on track.
Yeah, and it makes it more likely that you'll keep doing it.
Yeah, I like that. So it's finding that joy.
Yeah.
Right, even amidst the uncertainty.
Even amidst the uncertainty.
Okay, so true happiness.
Yeah.
It doesn't depend on
Your bank account.
Right.
Right.
or the economy.
It really doesn't.
So it's about appreciating the good things.
Yeah. Absolutely. Your relationships, your passions, your health.
Spending time with loved ones.
Nature.
Those simple pleasures.
The simple things, that really nourish us.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and sometimes it's good to remind ourselves of that.
Especially now.
Especially now, yeah.
When things feel chaotic.
Right.
Now, here's something that I think, we don't talk about enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't in the DigyKey stuff either.
Yeah.
But it's like, our relationship with money?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right. Like, how do we develop a healthy relationship with money?
Right. We often focus on the practical.
Right. The how-tos.
Yeah, the how-to, the steps.
What?
But our mindset,
Yeah.
our beliefs about money are huge.
They really are.
Yeah. If you constantly view money as a source of stress or fear or guilt,
It makes it so much harder
it does.
to manage it.
Yeah, you're constantly battling yourself.
Right. So how do you shift that?
Well, I think it's about cultivating a healthier relationship with money.
Like, what does that even look like?
Well, one based on respect,
Okay.
gratitude.
Gratitude for what you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Empowerment.
Instead of seeing it as the enemy,
Right.
it's like a tool.
It's a tool.
Okay.
It's not about worshiping money or letting it rule your life. It's about understanding its power and using it wisely.
I like that. A tool, not a tyrant.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about when you feel like you're not making progress fast enough?
Oh, the impatience.
Right.
I think we all feel that, right?
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that building a solid financial foundation takes time.
There's no quick fix.
There's no quick fix.
No shortcuts.
No.
Right.
No. And it's about resisting those get-rich-quick schemes
Yeah.
and focusing on slow and steady progress.
I like that. Slow and steady.
Slow and steady wins the race.
All right. And sometimes the journey
Yeah.
is where the learning happens.
It is.
Okay, so how do you cultivate that patience?
Well, I think, again, focus on what you can control.
Okay.
You can't control the market, but you can control your savings rate, your spending habits, your investment choices.
So stay focused on your plan.
Stay focused on your plan.
Don't get distracted.
Yeah, don't chase the fads.
Yeah, just stay the course.
Stay course.
Ride it out.
Yeah, write it out. Time is on your side.
Okay, so that's good advice for younger listeners too.
Oh, absolutely.
Who might think they have all the time in the world.
Yeah, but the earlier you start,
Yeah.
the better.
The more time it has to grow.
Exactly.
No, sometimes it helps to have Like a guide?
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, like a financial co-pilot.
Yeah.
You know,
To help you navigate,
they can offer personalized advice. They can help you create a plan.
hold you accountable.
Yeah, keep you on track.
Yeah.
And it's not just about financial advice, it's also about emotional support.
Right.
Having someone to talk to bounce ideas off of.
It makes a big difference.
It really does.
Okay, so we talked about taking control.
Yeah.
We talked about getting support.
Yeah.
But what about just educating ourselves?
Oh, that's huge.
Right? There's so much information out there.
So much. It can be overwhelming.
It really can.
Yeah, but you don't have to become a financial expert overnight.
Right, start with the basics.
Start with the basics.
Like, what would you say are the most essential things to understand?
Well, I think understanding how to create a budget, how to track your expenses, how to save and invest your money, how to manage debt, how to protect your credit score.
Those are the big ones?
Yeah, those are the big ones.
Okay, and where do you even start?
Well, there are tons of resources, online, at libraries, within your own community.
You could take a class,
You could take a class,
read a book,
listen to a podcast.
listen to this podcast.
Exactly. There are websites, apps.
Yeah, make it fun.
Make it right.
Engaging.
Yeah.
Find what works for you.
Okay, so it's about committing to that learning.
It is.
And once you understand how money works,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's empowering.
it's empowering.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so scary anymore.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so as we kind of start wrapping up this part of the conversation,
Yeah.
what really sticks out to you as like the most important takeaway?
I think for me it's mindset.
Okay.
Your beliefs and your attitude about money are so powerful.
It's that shift
It is.
from scarcity to abundance.
Yes, to possibility, to empowerment.
Like you can create a better future.
You can.
Yeah.
Even when things feel challenging.
Okay, I love that. So for people who are feeling overwhelmed,
Yeah.
what can they do?
Well, remember the power of small steps.
Small steps, okay?
Yeah,
Don't try to do everything at once,
No.
right?
Even tiny changes in your spending, your saving.
Little things
Over time.
It's that consistency.
Consistency is key.
Right.
Yeah, whether it's setting up that automatic savings plan, cutting back on a few unnecessary expenses,
Yeah.
tracking your spending for a month.
It all makes a difference.
It all makes a difference, yeah.
So just take action.
Take action.
Don't be afraid to start small.
Yes, and be kind to yourself.
Oh, I like that.
Everyone's journey is different.
Embrace the journey.
Embrace the journey.
Ups and downs.
Ups and downs.
It's all part of it.
It's all part of it.
And you'll get there.
You will.
And you don't have to do it alone.
No, you don't.
There's support out there.
There is.
Friends, family, advisors.
Reach out. Ask for help.
Build your community.
Build your community.
And just find that joy
Find the joy.
in the moment,
In the moment, yeah.
even amidst the uncertainty.
Even amidst the uncertainty.
Okay.
Absolutely. Shift your focus from what you lack to what you have.
Gratitude.
Gratitude
Yeah.
for the abundance that already exists.
Okay.
Yeah. Spending time
Yeah.
with people you love.
Your passions,
Something
connecting
about
with
that.
nature,
Simple pleasures.
the simple things.
Right.
Yeah, those are the things that truly nourish us.
No matter what your bank account looks like.
Exactly. Exactly.
And, sometimes giving back
Oh, giving back is so important.
can be one of the most rewarding things,
It is.
even when money's tight.
It's counterintuitive, but it's true.
Right.
Acts of generosity actually boost our happiness
With
and
what's-
reduce stress.
So it's like recognizing that you're part of something bigger
Yes, exactly.
and your actions can make a difference.
They can.
And whether it's donating,
Donating, or
volunteering,
offering a helping hand.
yeah,
It doesn't have to be big.
it's about that kindness.
It is, yeah.
It's about giving.
Giving.
Yeah.
And, it brings us a sense of purpose and
Okay.
fulfillment.
So true wealth,
Yes.
it's not just about what you have.
Oh.
It's also about what you give. Now, this might seem a little off topic, but
Mm.
insurance.
Oh, insurance. So important.
Yeah.
And often overlooked.
Right. We think of it as just another bill.
Yeah. Another expense.
But it's really about protecting yourself.
It is. It's about protecting yourself from those unexpected events.
Yeah.
Health insurance, car insurance,
Homeowners, renters.
life insurance. Yeah.
It can provide so much peace of mind,
It really can.
especially now.
Especially now.
Right.
When things are so uncertain,
Yeah.
having the right coverage is like a safety net.
A financial safety net
Exactly.
to catch you
Yes.
if you fall.
Exactly.
Okay? And it doesn't have to be expensive.
It doesn't. There are ways to shop around.
Compare rates.
Find policies that fit your budget.
Yeah.
You know?
Be proactive.
Be proactive.
Do your research.
Do your research.
Okay, so it's like having that umbrella.
Yes.
When it rains,
On a rainy day.
you might not need it all the time.
Right.
But you're glad you have it.
When the storm hits.
When the storm hits.
I got it.
Okay, so as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, is there anything else that just really stands out to you?
You know, I think one of the most important things to remember is that we all make mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Nobody's perfect.
Especially with money.
Especially with money.
It's easy to get down on yourself
Oh, it's so easy.
about past decisions.
Yeah.
But
But that doesn't help.
it doesn't help.
No, the key is to learn from those mistakes.
Forgive yourself.
Forgive yourself.
Move on.
Move on.
Right.
Yeah.
So use the past as a learning experience.
Exactly.
Don't dwell on it.
Yeah. Don't dwell.
And ask for help
Ask for help.
if you need it.
Yeah, there's no shame in that.
No shame.
In fact, it's a sign of strength.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So you're not alone.
You're not alone in this.
We're all in this together.
We are.
We're all navigating this.
Yeah, we're all figuring it out together.
We can all create a better future.
Yeah.
We can.
That's a great note to end on.
Yeah,
So we've covered a lot of ground,
we have.
from the basics of budgeting to mindset to resilience.
To giving back.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
But remember, this is just the beginning.
It is.
The real work begins.
Then you take this information and apply it.
Yeah, and don't get overwhelmed.
Don't get overwhelmed.
Take it one step at a time.
One step at a time.
Celebrate those wins.
Yeah.
And just keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
And we're here to support you
We are.
along the way.
Absolutely.
So we'll be back soon with more insights
More advice.
to help you navigate this whole world.
This crazy world of personal finance.
Yeah. But until then, stay curious
Stay curious.
and keep taking those steps
Those small steps.
towards your goals.
Yes.
All right, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into budgeting when things feel a bit shaky.
Yeah, I feel like we've covered so much ground already. We really have. It's been a lot. But, you know, going through all this, I keep thinking about resilience.
Resilience, yeah, that's a big one.
It is. It's like all these things we've been talking about. It's like
It builds it up.
it's like building a muscle, right?
Exactly.
The more you adapt and make conscious decisions and bounce back,
Yeah, the stronger you get.
the stronger you get.
Exactly.
And it's not just financial, it's personal too.
It is. It's about your whole life.
It really is.
Yeah.
So even when the world feels uncertain,
Yeah.
we can choose to approach our finances with a sense of
Oh,
hope. Yeah.
absolutely.
Which I think is really powerful.
It is.
It's not about ignoring the challenges
Uh-huh.
or pretending things are perfect.
It's about acknowledging the hard stuff.
Yeah.
But still believing that things can get better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That there's potential for growth,
Always potential.
even when things feel really tough.
I love that.
And I think that belief can fuel our actions. You know, can inspire us
Absolutely.
to keep going.
For sure.
Okay, so I think it's time to rack up this deep dive.
Okay.
But before we do,
Yes.
let's leave our listeners with one final thought.
Ooh, I like that.
What's one action, no matter how small,
Yeah.
you can take today
Mm-hmm.
to kind of strengthen your own resilience
Yeah.
and create a sense of hope for your future?
What's that one step?
Is setting up that automatic savings transfer?
Mm-hmm.
Is it having an honest conversation with your partner about money?
Yeah.
Is it just taking a few minutes to visualize
Visualize.
what you want your future to look like?
I love that.
Right. Those small steps
That make a difference.
over time.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks for joining us on this deep dive into budgeting for uncertain times.
Yes. Thanks for being here.
We hope you found it insightful, empowering, and maybe even a little inspiring.
Inspiring, yeah.
We're all in this together.
We are.
Right. Navigating these times.
We are all in this together.
And we all have the power to create a better future.
Absolutely, we do.
So keep exploring.
Keep learning.
And most importantly, keep believing in yourself.
Yes, you got this.
We'll be back soon with more deep dives
More to come.
into the world of personal finance. But until then,
Yeah.
stay curious.
Stay curious.
Keep taking those small steps
Small steps.
toward your goals.
You got it.